Hey guys, happy Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, May 28th, 2019. It is the first show of the last week of May. I can't believe it. So May ends on Friday. Super excited for June. Got lots going on. I'm very excited to have Eddie Cabrera on with me. Look, you guys got to know. Okay, so Mom's on. So let us know. I think you can hear us and see us. That was a code right there for that. My wife is on. Hi, babe. We were just talking about you. So we definitely can be heard and seen. The great thing about this show is Christina and I have been talking about it. His mom, by the way, is a dear friend of mine, and she's off camera. But she's here to make sure I cover everything. That's important because Eddie's got a great story. And he's got a great mission, and there's some things coming up that he really wants to accomplish, and we want to help him here on the TED Show and at TED's community. So welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right. Look, he's such a nice young man. I don't know what to do. It's so hard not to be parental, right? So it's not my baby, but he's Christine's baby, so, and I love her. So I love your dress. It's called your dress uniform. Yes?
Yeah, it's more like an NSU, yeah. It's
an
Navy uniform.
Navy uniform. All right. Jody's on. Shelly's on. We love you guys. Thanks. Okay, so when your mom and I started talking about this, Shelly says hi to both of us. When your mom and I first started talking about this, I just thought this is such a great way for people to get to know. Nick's in France watching. Hi, Nick. People to get to know that our youth have a lot going on that is positive, and if you've got a mission like you do and a story like you do, I want more people to hear about it. All right, so origin story, we talked about this. So origin basically is they want to hear a little bit about you, and then of course we want to get to why you're in that amazing hat at the Citrus Club. It's probably not a hat. And that amazing outfit, and you look great, you look put together. So tell us a little bit about you.
So I was born in New York, Queens, New York.
Queens.
Yes.
I was born in New Jersey.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
it's
nice.
scary. No, it's not nice. You're good.
So I went to a school in Queens called St. Sebastian. It's a Catholic school, and so I got to kind of learn about Jesus, who he is, and it's part of my religion too. And then
I love that.
yeah, and then we moved down here, and so it's pretty hot, much better than New York.
It's so hot down here.
It's much better than New York because you don't have to deal with the snow at all or hail or...
You're not a cold person.
No.
I'm not either. I get it. I think that's why my parents moved out.
I prefer to be sweating.
Sweaty hot?
It's freezing.
How did you get involved, or how did you get an interest in aviation?
So,
and tell them about that, because
Yeah.
tell them about your dress. I keep focusing on that because I'm fascinated, and everything that you have on has a meaning. The thing on your hat,
Yes.
the reason you wear your hat, the things across your chest there. So talk about how you got involved, and then maybe a little bit about what you're wearing. For no fashion comments, guys. I mean, I want to know the information about it.
So, when I was young, my first word that I ever learned was a map, which I loved. I love to read them, love to look at them, love to just see them.
Maps.
Yes, maps.
Very cool.
And so I kind of like to look at maps. Fascinated me. Just my adrenaline went boosting whenever I saw it. And so, like, whenever I look at it, it's just awesome. And then...
Because you wanted to travel?
Right, yes. I love traveling. My mom traveled, like, almost all over the United States. She's amazing. We went to England on one of my first plane, I think, to England. I loved it. I was like the best feeling I've ever had, just flying in the air. Like,
what did you like about it? So there's a lot of people that are afraid of it. Kids are not always good on planes either, right? So what did you feel? You were just excited about being able to see the world from that far up?
Yeah, kind of. And also being able to be above the skies and just kind of feel that gravity just pulling you, but then you're like also going away from all that gravity, and also just the technology that we have nowadays is just awesome. The way we can be able to lift in the air from like just a nice leather plane to metal and engine thrusting.
It is
full
amazing,
power.
right?
Yeah.
For somebody who doesn't have the brain like you do, I'm still amazed on how we get to lift off and land.
Yeah.
I don't want to think about it too much because it'll make my little head spin, but I am amazed at the technology. I just can't believe that somebody figured that out, and we've made it so it's very comfortable, even though they keep reducing the size of the planes, guys.
Yeah.
But it's so awesome that we're able to travel anywhere we want to travel. All right, so you get up in the plane. You're like, okay, this is it. This is awesome. But a lot of people, it doesn't matter if you're a kid, adult. You have this passion. You feel like, all right, I like this. But you decided, this is what I want to be. This is what I want to do. How did that come about?
Well, like I when I went on the first plane, I was like, this is a new vehicle. I like it. It feels nice in here, but the only thing I didn't like was it's very tight. So like I was kind of, but I was small by then, so I was like easy to move around. I was like a mouse compared to everybody else.
Unlike us big adults.
So we were like going by, just looking outside at the wing, because we used to be always in the middle of the plane. So I'd look outside and I just love looking at that wing and all the other planes just docked and waiting for everybody to get on. And then I was like, wow, this is kind of amazing. It feels like a car right now. So then as we go on the runway, just the sound of the engine just going and increasing speed, it just gave me the adrenaline. I'm like, I like this. And just, it's way faster than a car normally goes. And so I like the speed. And then when we took off, when we literally went in the air, it was like, whoa.
But how do you get to the point where you go, this is awesome, I want to do more with this. I don't want to just ride in an airplane. I want to be part of the whole process.
Well, the first time I ever saw a cockpit, which is where the pilot flies the plane, it was fascinating at the technology, and so then I felt like this is where I belong first, because first, as a pilot, you read a map so that you can understand where you're going to your destination, and like read in how far you need to go. So I love that part. And then also the part about just the earth, just going in the air, flying, looking at the earth the way it is. And you can only see the earth as its round shape from the sky. That's it. That's the only part I like about it. And then it's like a place to be free, kind of, just in the air, just away. And so I like that. And so I'm like, I want to try and see if I can make it to become a pilot one day, and that's been my dream.
And so you're working on this.
Yes.
All right, so talk about that. So talk a little bit about, you're at a school, talk about your school, and then talk about why you are dressed the way you are. I think people are going to they're going to ask me later all sorts of questions, so let's clear it up now.
All right, so my mom found this school for me all the way down in St. Petersburg. It's called Admiral Farragut Academy, which is a naval academy school. And in that school, it had an aviation program which was like more advanced than at the other schools I used to go to, where there's barely any aviation thing at all in it. So when I met the teacher, he was like going on and on about the engine and what's inside and how you fly all the systems. So I'm just sitting there like staring at it in amazement at like all these things. And when we went to go visit this school the year before I went with the flight teacher to the airport right by, and that would have been my third time being in a Cessna, which is a small plane. It's more easy for pilots to fly in who are just beginning. And so we went up and we did a couple of runs, test runs. So we did.
Did you get to do stuff? Did you get to, at least, were you learning? Were you?
Yes, I was learning how to the procedures of stalling, which is basically not having enough speed through the air, so you're just falling slowly, and then.
I just got nervous a little bit.
I mean, it's not that bad, depending on how much you're stalling or falling from the sky. But you have to be at a high height, which is...
This is part of the process, guys. So you just
Yeah.
understand stalling is actually something that you don't know happens a lot, but this is what happens. So don't freak out. But you're right. But I think that people like me who are listening, you speak about it with so much passion.
Yes.
Like you're very passionate about it. You obviously have this great desire to learn about it. And so you were able to go up the third time in a Cessna.
Yes. Yeah.
That's the teenier one, right? So how many seats are in that?
4 seats.
Whew, okay.
A co-pilot, pilot, and 2...
Does this have a propeller too?
Yes, it's a single engine.
God help me. All right, so I'm a
bad.
little bit nervous right now, my friend. I'm a little bit nervous. No, but I think that people are afraid of the giant planes. What I found on a smaller plane, and maybe you can help them, is that I actually... See, I want to be in control, right? So this is what I think a lot of people get their fear from. They're not in control over what goes on. They think you're in control in a car. Yeah, welcome to the real world. That doesn't necessarily happen either. But in a smaller plane, you feel like you're right there. You're in it.
Yes.
It's not as bad as you all think it is, right?
Yes.
And you get experience in it. You get to see it up close. You get to feel the stall and the fall and all of those good things. And then that gives you practical experience in what you ultimately want to be, which is a pilot.
Yes.
All right. So talk about the school. You are talk about what you have on, because each thing I said this before we went live. Each thing has its own meaning.
Yes.
And so tell them about how school is. Tell them about what you do. Is it all flight oriented? Is there education too? Tell them a little bit.
It's a bit of both. So you have academics, and you also have aviation, but the school is more based on Navy, which is what this uniform is based on. But it's not directly from the Navy colors, because this is an NJROTC, which is like a junior military system program. So it's because it's Navy, this anchor is for the anchor of the Navy, and then this silver insignia right here, which is the symbol, this is sailing, which I love to do.
I didn't know that. See?
I learned how to sail over summer, which was pretty amazing. And actually, I didn't really learn it last year, but I learned it when I was in Manhattan, in New York. And I learned how to sail a small boat, pretty nice. Forgot the name of it though, but it was a really nice boat.
It's all right.
And then
you said Manhattan, right?
Yeah.
So you're good.
Yeah. Actually, it was more towards New Jersey, your area.
God help us.
I was in the middle of the Hudson River though.
What was that like? Was it different being on the water versus being in the air?
Kind of, yes. It's kind of a bit less thrilling to be on water, because you don't really have that ability to go up in the air or like down air or whatever you call it. But it's kind of cool sailing because you kind of bob in the water, but then you also get the thrill of the wind just on your face after just walking around in a hot sun, and you just get to sail.
You're still navigating too, right?
Yes, yeah. You'll have a compass on you, a map still of the ocean, so like where you are, which is pretty cool because I still like reading maps. And so
Are they? So I have to ask, because I can't even read my GPS on my phone. So a map, is this something you physically are touching to read?
Yeah.
And even when you're in the air, is it a physical map, or is it all radar and technology?
It's digital. It's a digital
So it's digital.
map. Yes. So it's basically a navigator. So there's a button to get the map in front of you, and you get to see where different airports are, what type of airport it is, if it's an international, executive. Now the difference between international and executive is international is huge, obviously, like in Orlando International, and then an executive is right by us, which is straight ahead of us, and it's smaller. So it's like where small planes go, and then international airports is like where
that's where the giant ones.
Yeah, it's
like where everybody comes
cargo
in.
planes and passenger planes and just any plane with a big engine in it.
See, I would be the one that was driving. Wait, driving's not right. Flying the plane, and the map would be saying redirecting, Redirecting.
It will not
I'm
say
so
that.
afraid.
It will not say that.
This is my fear. This is what happens with Siri when I'm driving or whoever's doing that. Redirecting, because I would have missed the executive airport, the international airport, and every airport in between.
Well, there is an autopilot system in an airport, so you can just type in the codes or like longitude, latitude of where it is, and then just press autopilot and just fly it. But it's
I want to press autopilot. I like that. I'm fascinated by this. Can you tell? I really am. I'm really fascinated.
So autopilot, I don't really know how it works, but it's like basically a high-tech computer. So, like I said, you punch in coordinates, and so it just takes over the plane. All technology systems, it adjusts throttle for you. It just everything.
You know when your pilot's going to the bathroom, guys? No, I'm kidding. There's a co-pilot there.
Yeah, so the co-pilot stays in, but you can't leave the co-pilot just sitting there alone because of just how it's like programmed. You just can't do that because of some incidents that happened in the past.
All right, so Eddie, where else have you traveled?
I've traveled to Paris.
Paris.
Beautiful place.
Isn't it amazing?
It's
I love
amazing,
Paris.
except if you go to the Eiffel Tower. I did not like that part.
You didn't? Why? Too many tourists?
Not too many tourists, but when you go up, I'm just not like really good with heights.
Okay, that's such an interesting thing for somebody who is at the top of the world or over the world.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't feel secure having a bar right in front of me.
Understood.
As if being literally secured in like a 3-layer plane.
Correct.
Because of how tight it is up in the atmosphere. It's just you need to have like
it's
a lot
a little
of
strange going up there. I agree with you. Like those elevators that go sideways or whatever they go like this.
Oh,
And then there's
weird.
it's strange.
Yeah.
When you become an adult, that's when you have lunch and drinks in the Eiffel Tower because it makes that whole bar thing. But you're right, there is no security. It feels like there at all. There's no security. And where else have you traveled?
I've traveled to Rome, which
Also
is a really
amazing.
nice place too.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I really wanted to go to Sicily. What's that place called?
Sicily?
Sicily, yeah.
That's where my family, part of my family's from. Sicily is amazing. It's got a nice little volcano billowing in the background, Mount Etna. It's really awesome. I love. Oh, see, Dan Pacheco says Eddie's a champion. This guy is one of the most impressive young people. I agree 1,000 times over. All right, so let's talk about. Wait, we've got. What else are we missing? Don't forget.
I've been to London before too.
London. Did you like London?
I've been there about 3 times or 4.
What was your favorite part about London?
The London Bridge.
The London Bridge. I love it.
And
how about the Eye? Did you like the? Oh no, you don't like to be that. You don't like.
I haven't gone on it before either. I haven't been.
It's high up and it's
very high.
Really high.
And it rocks back and forth.
Yeah, it's definitely ours is cute, but that's not the London Eye. Yeah, the Orlando Eye. I love you guys, but it's not the London Eye. All right, so let's talk about what I really want people to know is that you've got this goal, this thing that you want to do, and this title of the show is Global Leadership Starts at Home. You have this dream that you want to accomplish. Yes, thanks, Mark. Sharp young man. Talk about what you want to accomplish, and then how we as an audience, how the TED show and TED's community and everybody can get involved in helping you.
So, the Global Leadership Adventures is it's like an organization that helps kids from all around the world in like 100 places. So like there's places in Africa, Europe, Asia, all over. And there's this one particular place that I like that I wanted to give help because when I was young I didn't get as much help as I should have. Like my speech wasn't right. I didn't get help in my speech, so I was like kind of behind and I didn't really properly like talk to people, and then so I want to give that back to other kids who don't have it, like the speech or the education or academics that they should, like or the health even, because I really wasn't so great when I was young, but because of my mom, I'm right now here next to you talking to about 1 million people who are going to be watching this afterwards, and doing
a phenomenal job, by the way.
Thank you. And So yeah, I chose a place called Indonesia, which is pretty much on the other side of the planet, where I'll be doing pop-up clinics, which and like little pop-up clinics will be in local places where there's not a lot of hospitals, or like places where you can get like blood examined, like if you have any disease or what. And so I'll be doing that, and I'll be kind of like watching these adults do it, and then I'll be presenting and kind of monitoring people and kind of taking their blood and examining.
Is that what you want to do? That's just, you want to travel, right? So this is a part of the world you have
Yes.
not been to.
Yes.
So this is a little more on the sort of on the medical side, right? So you want to do some kind of dip your foot into that, or your toe into the medical side of it,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, a little bit.
So tell us about what that entails, because obviously it's there's a cost, right? So anytime that you're doing an education like this, anytime that you're doing something that's outside the 9 dots, you have to travel, then there's something that you have to do, and we actually have something that you all created where people can help you attain that goal, right?
Right. Yeah.
So what is it, and we're going to share all that information later, but what I want people to know is when you go over there, you're going to be immersed in that culture, in that thing for how long?
For 3 weeks.
For
Yes.
3 weeks. All right. And what is the goal? When is this? Is this summer? Is this late fall?
It's,
Is it?
this summer from June to July.
All right. So we're coming up quickly
Yeah.
on your time frame. And so when you travel over there, are you with your mom?
No.
All right. So it's just you.
Yeah.
This is big. I mean,
Yeah.
it's all big. It's all
Well, my mom does travel with me from Orlando to New York, so I'll at least be with her for about 1 flight, and then I have 3 more flights to go to. But then I won't just be alone on those flights, because I'll be meeting other kids, about 14 other kids who will be doing the same thing that I'm going to, or well, that I'm doing and going to. So I won't be alone, pretty much.
I love that.
Yeah.
And then what do you want to accomplish? So when we get you there, because that's the goal, right? So
Right.
we're gonna speak it. It's gonna happen.
Yes.
So we get you there, and then your 3 weeks are up. Then you come back. What's your goal after that? Do you eventually want to go to medical school? Do you want to
No, I wanna-
go into the Air Force? You want to go to the Navy?
Well,
I think people are going to ask me that later, so I might as well ask you now.
yeah, I'm kind of undecided about where I want to go, because I'm still young. I'm still exploring aviation, but I have a couple ideas. Like, and if I do go to the Navy, I could do search and rescue, because I'm really good with eyesight. So I could go out in the water, see where like whoever's lost. I could do like medical school. I could take like a helicopter, go in the middle of a jungle with these nurses or doctors, and go out and probably like help people who got injured badly. Or I could, in civilian world, I could do passenger planes, fly people around the world, or do private jets, celebrities such as you probably.
I did not pay him to say that, but I
No,
absolutely
he didn't.
adore and appreciate you for that. My kids are going to watch later, and we're going to highlight that section of the entire show.
Yes, and so I'm really undecided right now still, but I still have options that I can choose from, and hopefully it'll be a good one, and I'll like it, and I'll stick with that.
You're so optimistic, and I want to point that out because I think it's so important. You're so optimistic and they're hopeful, and I love that, because I think a lot of people in my generation and younger, like your mom's generation, which is much younger than me, we look sometimes at your age group and go, God, it's entitled. Nobody wants to work for anything, which I think is such a false. People don't see the wonderful human beings like Eddie out there. So where does the optimism come from? Are you like this every day? Do you practice it? I mean, I know your mom, so I know your mom is a big force in your life.
Yes.
And that is so important. But is it when you're over at school, is everybody the same as you? Is everybody like, yes, I want to do this? Or
some are, yeah, like the whole aviation programs like that, pretty much.
because they're doing what they
yes.
want to do, right?
Right, yeah.
Exactly.
So you're
Yeah.
not forced to do it. You actually do what you love, and sometimes you're doing it so well that you don't even know time's flying by.
Yeah.
So like I have 45 minutes in the class, and then the moment I'm doing something I love, it goes by like a second because I'm loving it so much.
Of course. But how awesome that you're at a school where the focus is on what you really want to focus on, because so many of us, like the general ed that we all, most of us experienced. What's up, Matt? Most of us experienced in high school, which is where you're just finished. You're about to go into high school. Or that technically that's the grade. We were in general stuff where 90% of it we couldn't stand. Yeah. So we weren't in a place where we were focused on the things that we love to do or the passion that we had. And so that's so awesome that you get to, I feel like it's so awesome that you get to be in it. So let's share. See how quick it goes. I want you to feel good about this. Am I missing anything, Christine, before because I feel like the message is so clear. What I love about what you said and what your presentation, remember, no prep from me, and you know I don't do any prep. So this is all Eddie being Eddie, which is so refreshing as a parent, as a human being, to have someone who's got these goals and these, in my opinion, lofty, wonderful, even though this is his passion, they're selfless goals. He wants to help people. Did you hear that message throughout everything that he's saying? So what a wonderful place to be, and how awesome it is to be around not only a regular human being, but a young adult who has those same passions at such a young age. This is a kudos to Mom for that, because lots of love and attention. Obviously, this is my opinion. You can disagree later if you want. No, I know how parents are. But I want to give you kudos to that. I think it's super important for people to understand there was no prep involved here. Did we have a discussion? Yes, but this is Eddie's passion. This is what he wants to do, and what you're seeing and feeling. That's why I love live. You can't make it up. You get to see it and feel it, and you know that's what he's really thinking, and this is what he wants to do. So what can people do? We're going to share all of the, and you don't have to give me the information, but we're going to share all of the information on how you can help Eddie reach that goal. We want to help him. Don't you want to help? Aren't we tired of giving to some of these things that make absolutely no sense in our brains, and then we have no idea what's happening? Here you've got a live, young adult human being who wants to do good in the world. Don't we want to go out and help him reach that goal? Because guess what? Guess who's going to be taking care of us later on in life? People like Eddie. So we want more Eddies in the world, and we want to help them reach those goals. We want to help somebody who's got that authenticity and vulnerability to share, achieve their goals. So we'll share all of that, right, Christine, afterward. Any parting, I didn't tell you this part, any parting words of wisdom, anything you want to share with them, anything that you want to tell them before we head out this afternoon that we might not have covered, or maybe they don't know about you?
Well, they just follow your dream, because you don't want to wait too long, and the next thing you know, you don't have the same passion for it as you did when you were young. Because my mom found me a school where I can actually explore and express my excitement for aviation, and so she kind of kept me with my same excitement that I used to have, and all the adrenaline that used to be pumping through my blood. And so it's just great to still have that same passion to be a pilot when I get older. Well, actually, I'm already a pilot because I already flew 3 times.
That's right. Hello. I love it. Eddie, you're a joy. I mean that. So what a joy to have you on the show. I love your enthusiasm and your passion. We want to help people like Eddie. Oh God, I'm so blessed to be able to share his story, and to be, even if we can get one person to help out, I think it's just such a big impact. It's going to impact the world, guys. You don't believe me? One at a time. One at a time. This is what happens. So thanks for being on the show. Are you done being? You weren't nervous at all. You did a fantastic job.
No, you actually calmed me down a little bit, and my mom did.
Good.
So I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what to say.
You were phenomenal. You said, you know what? You spoke your heart, and that's all we can ask for. And I loved it. So thanks for being on the show, Eddie. Thanks, Christine, for coming and doing the show late in the day. Look, guys, we're going to share it. Christine's already posted it. We're going to share it again. Reach out to her, and let's get Eddie where he wants to be, right? Because
Yes.
that's where we all want to be. We want to be where our dreams are, and that's what his dream is and his goal. So thanks for being on the show. We love you guys. We'll be back with a pop-up tomorrow. See you soon.
Yes, it's actually ROTC.
ROTC, Navy ROTC, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I heard that earlier.
JROTC, it's junior.
Junior, that's right.
Junior,
All right.
something.
All right.
I forget.
And so we've got lots of people we will respond to, I promise. Steve, I hope you and your family are feeling better. We'll see you soon. Mwah.